Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
Bandwidth for iOS today is provided by CacheFly at CACHEFLY.com.
Games that you can play with your family that won't drive you nuts.
Won't drive you crazy. And I'm going to show you a way to keep your stuff more private.
And I am going to finally convince Leo that IGTV will succeed and not fail.
No, it's never going to happen on iOS today. No how. No way. No one gets to see the wizard. No one. iOS Today time. I'm Leo Laporte.
I'm Megan Morrone.
And this is the show where we talk about the iOS stuff. Now, obviously, that's the iPhone and the iPad. We throw in Apple TV and the Apple Watch because we consider them all iOS adjunct devices.
No one can change our mind about that. Not ever.
They
Not
may
ever.
try, and they have.
I got an email from Catherine. She said, I have an idea for a subject for iOS today. How about games you can play with your family that won't drive you, the parent, crazy?
Yeah, good luck. So it depends what drives you crazy. I'm thinking in the back seat, the noise, right? And just get headphones, because what are you going to do, right?
Yeah, or sometimes, I can remember certain board games that were just like inane that drove me crazy. So like I'm glad to be out of the Candyland phase and into the like Settlers of Catan phase. But that's part of age.
Yeah, and I have some intermediate stuff. In between the Settlers of Catan and Candyland. Have you ever played the card game Meal Born?
No.
Yeah, of course.
You have?
All the men in the room are nodding, and I am saying
Is it a male kind of game?
Mule
No.
born? Like born on a mule?
You know what? I think I've erased it on here because I found it so annoying.
Or
but
mille born.
Meal Born.
Mille
It
born.
means 1,000 mileposts. It's a classic French card game. And they're actually, Milton Bradley distributes it as a card game, but because it's I don't know if it's not proprietary, it's not owned by Milton Bradley. So there's lots of different Meal-born games on iOS. My favorite, though, is the Tintin version. But you know what?
They don't have it?
Well, here's the problem. A little behind the scenes here. I've recently upgraded my devices to iOS 12. The public beta is out. We'll talk about that later. And I was preserving the iOS 12 onboarding experience on my iPad, so I can't show you stuff on my iPad right now.
So
How do we want to solve that?
Well, we can solve this problem in one of two ways. We can just go ahead and say...
You do all the games.
Oh, yes,
There's the
that's
one.
one
There's
way.
the one. And we can just show it this way. This is not the one I was thinking of. There's one that's based on the Tintin characters, you know. But it doesn't matter. The idea of the game is, and you can play it with cards. 1,000 miles. It's really 1,000 mile posts, I think is what a born is. But the idea is it's a car race game, and you're playing against other people. See if you can find the Tintin one, Tintin, because that's the one I like. That's really
Tintin?
really fun.
Like the cartoon?
Tintin. Sorry, what was I thinking? Tintin. Me and my
Laporte.
phony French pronunciation. The Tintin version has all the characters of Tintin, and that, by the way, if your kids haven't yet read the French comic books, you can get them in English of Tintin. There it is. They should definitely do this. Now, it looks like you found it, but somewhere besides the iOS store. But I think I have it on my iPad. But anyway, it's $2.99. It's really fun. The idea is it's a race game. So you lay down cards. In the case of the iPad, you have the cards are virtual, obviously, trying to get around the track before your parents do. And the reason it's fun for kids is because you can throw cards down on your parents like they get a flat tire or they run out of gas, and then they're stuck and frustrated until they get a get out of jail pass. And so I think it's a fun one for the kids because it's a card game. And it's a fun one because they can screw their parents, basically. So it's a lot. I think it's a good one for a family adventure.
Yeah.
I mean, the kids could play it in the back seat, but I think it's also a good one for a family game. So that would be. That's my vote. Have you ever played Uno?
Yes.
It's kind of like more fun than Uno, but like Uno.
Okay, got it.
Uno's another game I think that appeals to children because they can do things to their parents, like, you know, take 8 cards and lose your turn.
Or your siblings.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kids are vengeful. Come to think of it. They're mean creatures.
So talking about back of the car and the sounds, that's a good one because sometimes those sounds, the Candy Crush sounds.
Oh, if I hear the Clash of Clans, bum, 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 one more time, I'm just going to. And then Michael had a game that was intentionally noisy. It was a musical. You created a band and then you got out different sounds and stuff, and it got noisier and noisier. It was really cool, but it grated on one after a while. Okay,
I have a similar game like that, but it has nice sounds. It's called Bandimal, and it's for younger kids, and you can play with your child or you can play alone. It's $3.99, and you create your own music. So here's some music I created that with an octopus, a sheep, and I guess a yak.
A yak. That's just a funny name.
I think that's a yak. Do you think that's a yak?
That's a yak, all right.
So I
it's a yak if I ever saw one.
This music. So
the yak is the bass, of course.
Yes, exactly. So let's go back home and we'll create a new music. Do you want a sheep, turtle, chicken? I like the chicken. Let's do the chicken. And you can change the background there, or you can change the tempo. And then we like the yak, right?
We love the yak because that's the boom, boom, boom.
And then let's see. Sheep, turtle, chicken, llama, snake. You know how I'm fond of snakes. Panda. What is the whale sound? Oh, that's good. That's the bass too. So we don't need 2 bass. So we already have the yak, and we can switch that. So these are sounds. I don't think if I heard this for 8 hours straight, it would start to annoy me. But so then you can basically, it's one of those games that kids can press whatever they want and they will never get it wrong. Which is nice, so they can just experiment.
I love that.
Open-ended game.
I love that.
You can play the game
So
together.
this is littler kids would love this.
Yeah.
Actually, anybody under 8 would love it. And anybody under 48 would enjoy it.
Yes, anyone under 48.
I like the whale. I love that.
I do too. And then you can.
This is really cute.
Yeah.
Oh, look.
You can adjust it.
So they're really going to learn mixing.
Yes.
So they can come to work for us.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So this is really teaching you multi-track recording technologies.
Yes.
Wow.
With yaks and chickens.
I mean, yaks.
And yeah, like I said, you can change everything and you'll never make a mistake. You'll just sort of figure it out as you go along. It's pretty. I could listen to this. Probably I could listen to this for 5 hours.
See,
and that would be enough.
This is exactly the kind of thing I would not want to have.
Really?
Well, you think it sounds good now.
Right. After 5 hours, I might get tired of it.
Yeah, exactly. My point. You kind of. I mean, but I guess you could always make them wear headphones.
You could.
Yeah.
And so this is. They have different games as well. Loopimal, Maximal, Dronimal. I thought this was really interesting. It was, developed by a parent. So you could just have a soloist. How long could you listen to that? And I do think that the budding musician would appreciate this game. Bandimal.
Bandimal. I love that.
Yeah, I do like the
It's cute.
It is cute. All right. Do you have another one, or shall I continue?
Well, I'm sad. I'm looking, and I think that they have discontinued Mealborn Tata
that is the
or
saddest thing
Tintin.
I've ever heard.
Because that is that I think it's not on the. I'm disappointed it's not on the store anymore. So I'm sorry I recommended it, but there are other Miles Bourne's games
For Tintin.
For Tintin. It's a really fun game. I really enjoy it.
Okay, are you still playing HQ Trivia?
I just deleted it.
You did?
Yeah. Because I was tired of all the notifications. Twice a day it bugs you.
Yeah. Yesterday they had like many games for some reason.
Yeah, that's when I deleted it.
Yesterday?
It was like, okay, thanks, I don't want to hear about this anymore.
Yeah.
You know why? Because I play, they get me. So this is the trivia game where they're actually giving away money. They've given away up to $250,000.
Last night, everybody who won got 13 cents.
That's the problem, is it's divided among everybody who gets it all right. There's 12 questions, but they start with easy ones, and then they get ridiculous. At about question 9 or 10, it's like, that's not trivia. That's just nonsense. That's not trivia. That's typing. It's nonsense.
It really is.
It's too hard.
Well, it's not even that it's not, challenging or smart. It's just like a guess. I can't remember what but it's like you're guessing.
It's you're guessing.
There's
and
no
so
reason to know
they
the
eliminate,
answer
then there's always a multiple choice. So they have 4 answers, 3 or 4. And so they always just eliminate, I think 3, you eliminate a third. 2/3 every time when you're guessing.
I had given it up, but it's summertime and
It's fun. They're better. To me, they're better trivia games out there.
well, what I like.
Have you played Quiz Up?
I have played Quiz
I
Up.
like Quiz Up. There's no money in Quiz Up.
There's no money in Quiz Up. What we've started doing is playing HQ Trivia as a family on the Apple TV.
Yeah. That's the sense I get, is that people are playing in groups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we play, there's no Apple TV app for HQ Trivia, but I just AirPlay my iPad or my phone to the TV.
That's
and then
fun.
we can all it's fun.
Until the last few questions.
It's still
It's
fun
just-
because because it's not like you're really missing out. I mean, we did the $100,000, a bunch of people won $213, which ain't nothing. It ain't nothing.
That ain't chump change.
But it's just fun because what I noticed with my family being summertime, most often everyone was in their own room with their own device.
yeah,
with
it's
the door shut.
get us all together.
Yeah.
This is actually, I think TVOS is the place. If you can get games on Apple TV you do this a lot. I'm really impressed. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, so even though it is kind of and it was a good teachable moment with my children because they're asking where does all this money come from? And then you talk about the advertising, it's full of advertising.
It is now.
If you think about it, I mean that's
First, okay, it comes from angel investors, then it comes for venture capitalists, but ultimately they're hoping it'll come from The Rock.
But I think it also comes from advertising. I mean, they have a lot of eyeballs. There's millions of people watching, and they're stuck to it. It's not like they're multitasking or anything.
It is interesting to see. It's like as many as 2 million people playing at any given time, which is incredible.
So that was a good discussion to see how, it's I guess, I don't know, Nickelodeon was advertising or something.
Right.
And it's of course they have that much money. That's how much advertising costs. They can give that money away. That's how game shows work.
That's why Leo has his own personal island.
Because of advertising.
Advertising.
Well, yeah, if we could get 1 million people not doing
That's
this
our
while
problem.
they're watching us.
That's our problem.
Because you're just...
We can't get 1 million people to watch. Dang it.
And I have no idea why, because
Then
we're
The Rock could
amazing.
buy an ad.
Can I show you another game that
Yes,
I play
please.
on the Apple TV? And this is the other time.
please.
Sometimes you got to meet your kids where they are. Have you ever played Piano Tiles?
Yeah, I love piano tiles. No, I love it. It's fun.
My kids love it too.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
kids and you love it. So there is an Apple TV app. So do you want to play together?
Yeah,
on
it's
the
actually
Apple TV?
made for the it's made for the Apple TV
let's
remote.
see.
This is the problem with the Apple.
Piano Tiles.
The problem with the Apple TV is that, do you notice how polite I am?
You quieted down?
I've learned because no one will ever let me dictate anything.
I know, it's true.
The family, this is their great pleasure, is you start saying, "Hey, Shlomo," and then they start, yeah.
Piano Tiles.
So I've gotten very good at stopping. There it is.
Oh.
Curse you, Shlomo.
What's going on there? Piano Tiles. Okay, now slowly.
And this
There
is
we
the
go.
problem with the Apple remote. It's a piece of junk, but
That's true.
this happens to be the one app that's kind of made for the remote,
It
right?
is.
Because you slide back and forth and let's
Whoa.
play.
Okay. Whoa.
It's basically Guitar Hero
So I'm.
Oh, you sound bad.
So now.
My turn.
Yeah, now it's your turn.
Okay.
Whoa.
Wait a minute. No, we're watching some.
Oh.
We're watching a
Oh.
video.
No wonder we were doing. Okay. Go to 2 players.
It's just stop it. Who's doing that? Somebody's messing with us. Open.
So it wasn't just me.
We were watching a video. Name a first placer. You'll be Mozart.
Okay.
I'll be Salieri.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Now, go ahead.
Oh, no, I go
You want to do the
first?
can?
Yeah.
Can't you do the?
Okay.
You stink.
I do stink. I think I'm going to lose this one. So you hold the button down, right? It's hard.
It's very hard. It's because it's stupid remote control.
Normally you play with... It's lovely. It's weirdly addicting, right?
So it's kind of in the rhythm.
Kind of. And your kids are really learning about music, too.
Yeah, that it's frustrating and annoying. And
Oh,
Your
you just
turn.
played me, but that's okay.
oh, that's right. You're Mozart. I'm Salieri. Oh, I wasn't pushing the
yeah,
button.
You have to hold.
I was just trying to get where they
Yeah,
were.
you hold it down. Oh,
It is actually easier on other devices.
Yeah, 'cause you're just
this is
tapping.
very difficult. It's that remote.
Mm-hmm.
If you had a joystick,
right.
a controller would make this a lot easier. And that's true for most Apple TV games.
But so, yeah,
You
my
can use a controller, of
You
course.
can.
Yeah.
I have one. We never use it really. My
It's
kids
never
play this
charged,
game
probably.
constantly because it is sort of addicting. And
Well,
so,
if you start getting good at it, it is addicting. It's like Doodle Bug or something. It's Doodle Jump. It's
yeah. So rather than tell them you can't play this addicting game, then it's like, let's all play this addicting game together.
right. And again, I think the key on any good game for a family is that you can humiliate Dad.
Yes, I'm about to do that.
Yeah. Dad's.
Ooh, ooh.
Yeah, you've humiliated me already. I got 23 points. You're up to 161 points. Anyway, you get the idea. We don't need to finish this game.
Yes, we do. Okay, so yeah, that. Okay, see, it's a bit addicting.
I can do better. It's So what makes a game addicting? That you think you can do better if you try again, right? I know. Oh, I'm so close.
That's like HQ Trivia, same thing. It's
And
like they get you with the easy
They get
question.
you so close, and something that keeps you. But the good news is the Apple TV remote, when you throw it at the TV, really just bounces off. It's
Yeah.
not. It's pretty harmless.
Pretty harmless. I don't know.
That's a good choice. Piano Tiles. I've never seen a TV version of it. I've only played it on the iPad, but
and it's
fun.
free.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have ads, I don't think even. It's fun. That's the other thing. Like a lot of the games might seem annoying until you play them with your kids. Like, I mean, if your kid is addicted
If you're playing, it's okay. Because then it's not just annoying background noise.
right.
You're engaged in the game.
But I think rather than just like if you're having problems with your kid, like playing Fortnite 24 hours a day, then say like, let's play together. Like, let's figure out.
You should play Fortnite. It's really fun. Anybody can play Fortnite.
Yeah. Even I can play Fortnite.
Yeah.
I downloaded it last night, and then I tried to play it at about 9:30, and I had my screen time settings set, so I wasn't allowed
Oh, you
to play
liked it. Oh, you didn't like it.
No, I did like it.
We're now doing the iOS 12
Okay, yeah.
thing.
So, do we have any other game? There's the classic SpaceTeam, which we've shown a bunch of times.
SpaceTeam is a great family game. That's where you're all playing together and you're different members of the bridge, and you have to cooperate and work together. It's like that VR game too. Keep talking, no one explodes. I would love to see a less VR version of that. This is SpaceTeam is so much fun. I really enjoy playing that. Turn on the dangling shunter.
All right, so I feel bad that you can't use your iPad. We should now go to. We should move.
Should we
on
show
to
iOS 12?
The public beta is out.
All right. I saved the onboarding just for you. So first we should say that while you can do it, you might want to think twice about doing it because it isn't fully fledged and people have already started reporting problems with the GPS and some other things. So only do it as, well, see, the problem is, Megan, you did it on your iPhone 6S, your extra iPhone. But the problem...
You can have this back. I mean,
The problem with that is that it doesn't support Memoji, which is really the main reason people would want to do this. Let me show you on. I started it. I did it to both my iPhone 10 and my iPad Pro. And as you can see, I'm just going to walk you through what happens after you do it. Update completed, continue. And one of the things that Apple does, I think, a very nice job of is kind of introducing you to the features. So you mentioned screen time. This is the thing that tells you how many hours you've spent playing games or whatever. It has for every app. But it also gives you a chance to control it. So you can set up parental controls. You can say, I don't want to play or look at Instagram more than an hour a day, things like that. So we'll continue through the settings here. Keep your iPad up to date. Oh, this is quickly access controls. Welcome to iPad. I guess there wasn't that much.
No, it's really
in there.
Yeah. But you have to go to the settings and go to the screen time settings to set them up.
Yeah, I thought they were going to walk me through it. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
I
didn't need to. Yeah, because they say you can skip this and do it later.
I think just even turning it on. That was just turning it on. So
yeah.
But now if you go to screen time.
Yeah. So first we'll go to Do Not Disturb because there's new Do Not Disturb settings, including this bedtime mode. When bedtime mode is on, the lock screen will dim. I really like this. Calls will be silenced. Notifications will appear in the notification center. And during Do Not Disturb, though, they won't. You won't see any notifications, which is really nice. I really like that. And, of course, you have, as we've mentioned before, the ability to say, oh, but I do want to get calls from, my kids or whatever.
Or if someone calls 3 times in a row.
Yeah, you have different settings. If we go down to right below Do Not Disturb, now here's the new entry, Screen Time. And you can see, I've spent 3 minutes on entertainment and only 44 seconds on productivity. So, but in less 8 seconds on creativity. So you could set your downtime. These are the hours, like Do Not Disturb, but downtime means, well, if I turn it on I could turn it on right now. It is on right now. And you'll see if I want to use an app, if downtime is turned on, well, I don't actually see it. It'll say it'll dim it. It won't. Oh, I know why, because I don't have the nighttime thing turned on.
Yeah.
Here's the app limits where you can add a limit. So let's say, I want to limit entertainment apps, right?
So when I first saw that, I thought, well, why can't it be by app? Like, why can't I limit?
Well, it
Snapchat
can be. You can go into it.
Can
So you can go
you? 'Cause
into
I
edit
couldn't.
apps. Can't you?
Not yet.
Oh, that's interesting.
But my first thought was like, well, I would like to do specific games. But then I thought, do I really want that? Because they're always downloading new games and new apps. And so,
So I've set a limit of 1 hour per day on games and entertainment.
That's good.
Okay.
Well, because, you never know what they're going to, if you're,
But it's not just for kids, it's for you too. I agree. It should have
you're never going to know
Oh,
what
here's
you're gonna
apps you can
download.
allow at all times. Okay, so you can say which apps are always allowed. So that's one thing is you can make an exception.
Right.
You can
That makes sense.
set a code for blocking inappropriate content. And you see these are family members, so I could actually turn on. I could be mean to my adult children, but I won't.
I think that was a really smart of Apple to do it that way, because I think it's a lot of times people are saying like, oh, well, I don't want my kid to play Fortnite, or I don't want them to use Musical.ly, or there's very specific, but that's not. I think as parents, we really need to not decide that one app is bad. Like whatever.
I'm going to measure your head.
Oh, thank you.
There's the Measure app. You're 9.5 inches. But that was from nose to stern.
That was just my nose.
So that I'm sorry. That was the Measure app, which
my point
also
is
get.
that single apps are not bad. They're all just worth talking about.
Yeah. But I do think that they should give you a little more granular. I was a little surprised. But remember, this is another thing I want to make sure people understand. This is a pre-release version, and it may not have all the features.
Right.
And some features may be different when it's released. So you don't get to complain. If you download this and say, well, I should have this, it may. Or, I really like this feature and it's gone. You don't get to complain. This is Apple asking you to help them out by banging on this stuff. And incidentally, one of the things you will get when you install a beta is the Apple Feedback application. And I encourage you to use that, because the whole point of the Feedback Assistant is to get back to Apple. You can see I haven't even logged in. But the whole point of the Feedback Assistant is to get back to Apple information about where there are problems. So please, take advantage of that. Use that.
Because remember how when the first iOS 11 came out on the iPad, we couldn't swipe up to get rid of apps?
Right.
And now you can.
Give them feedback.
We complained, and they listened to us.
Here's the brand new Stocks app finally on the iPad, and it has an all-new design. Plus, it has news. That was the biggest change. Is there's news now in here. And speaking of news, Apple's News is also has a new feature. It has a browse tab in here. So this is the first time I've used it. So it's setting it up. It's not the first time I've used it though, ever. So it should. I'm interested in see if it'll have all my favorites. This is different on. I've used it only on the iPhone, so it doesn't have the. This is the browse on this side. It looks like. So on the iPhone, you'll have a browse button, but here it's always in the left column. So this is the For You. There's the Spotlight, but then there's also individual journals that you've chosen in the browse section. That's what browse does. And you can even choose categories, so I can browse. I think this makes news a lot better.
I do too. I used it this morning and I found it incredibly useful.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big ad, right?
But it's got a puppy on it.
Yeah. So that's the negative. It's ad supported. And I think Apple probably could do this without being ad supported.
It's just an ad for a pet shelter.
Well, this is what we call a public service announcement. These are freebies they're giving away because they couldn't sell it yet. And by the way, when you start seeing ads in Apple products, then you got to remember, how are they selling those ads? Are they going to be tracking your usage? Yeah.
Unless you tell them not to.
Well,
you can turn off ad tracking. It will turn some things off.
Yeah. I mean, I worry about that a little bit because that, anything Apple does that's ad supported, suddenly that means if they're going to compete against the other ad supported networks like Facebook and Google, that means they're going to have to give that kind of information to the advertisers. There's a big interesting change here. I don't know if you noticed this. You see it when you're in an app. Used to be date and time were in the middle, right? It's over on the left here. On the iPad.
The notch is coming to the iPad.
I think that's a strong indicator that they're going to put a notch there.
Which means Face ID on the iPad.
Right. And they do need Face ID on the iPad because, gosh, I'm so tired of touching the fingerprint reader.
I know. It's filthy.
Such a filthy idea.
It's really a real problem.
But I think that's a pretty strong indicator. The fact that date and time has now moved over to the left, just like on the iPhone. Oh, that's the other thing. This now has the iPhone interface, right? So I can't swipe up from the bottom anymore, right? To get to the control panel, we have to swipe down here. What do they call it? Not control panel, the control thingy. And we have to swipe down there.
Control thingy.
The control thingy. I think that's what they call it. So that is a bit of a change, but I think a change for the better because I want a unified user interface. I don't want to have two different user interfaces. Everybody wants to do the Memoji. You can't show it because
here we go. We can.
You can show what I sent you.
We got to talk about.
Here I am in the car.
Okay, here's a really strange effect. It's me in my car driving. I'm on my way, Morrone. Bleh.
Now, I know in some countries and cultures, sticking your tongue out is rude. And I'm not trying to be rude to Megan, but that's a new feature of the Memoji. So, in fact, in every Memoji I sent you, I stuck my tongue out just to demonstrate, to show some more.
Right, okay.
So that was my face, and you're going to help me create a better one.
Yes, but can we stop for a minute and say you weren't actually driving? There was no movement in the car.
No, I wasn't driving. I was in the car, but I would never drive in Memoji.
Okay.
It would be very confusing.
Let's see.
So this is the Memoji that I created. This is my first attempt. And you...
Excuse me. Does this Animoji make me look fat?
You noted something right away.
Yes.
Besides my tongue, is that I have no ear holes.
Yeah.
Does this Animoji
completely accurate.
Make me look fat?
See, I have no ear holes.
Ear holes are for listening.
They're for listening. Who listens? Not me.
Excuse me.
Show the next one.
Does this Animoji make me look fat?
Okay. Here's your second attempt.
Not only are there no holes in my ears, there's no holes in my nose.
So I'm just playing with the gestural stuff. It's not perfect, but you've used Memojis. And here's some of the new Memojis. You get a dinosaur.
Animojis.
I might also mention that the dinosaur is really scary.
And has ear holes and nose holes.
Oh.
Why is it that dinosaurs can have ear holes
I don't know.
and nose holes, but not humans? I ask you.
I don't think they need to play them over and over again. I have to say.
Well, in case you missed the beginning.
Yeah.
There's the ghost. There's the koala.
I think the koala bear should probably sound a little bit like William F. Buckley. Yeah.
This is the last Memoji you're going to get from me. I only play with them when they first come out. So you get the ghost, you get the dinosaur, you get a koala, and you get a tiger. So you have 4 new Animojis. Shall we make the Memoji though?
Yeah.
Because I want to show you the process involved. You have to go to messages, as far as I can tell, to start a Memoji. And then when you get to the messages, you'll go to the Animoji section, the little monkey face, and then you can create a new Memoji. There'll be a plus sign. So let's do that now. And at first I went, let me go hook up my my camera. But no, it doesn't use your camera. This is totally from scratch.
This is what you think you look like.
This is, it's what you think you look like. Now, right now you get to choose freckles. I don't think I have any freckles. And skin tone, ranging from pitch black to purple. I might be purple or pink. You think I should be purple? This could be my alien. Now let's try a little bit to make it look like me. I think I'm kind of that color.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. Maybe
Well,
a little lighter.
Yeah, I can make it a little lighter. See, there is a slider. So when you pick a color, then you have a slider within the color. That's close. By the way, this is completely, at this point, genderless. The hairstyles, so you don't ever at any point pick your gender.
Oh, interesting.
Whoops. The hairstyle, don't do what I just did. Then you'll have to start all over again. Okay, hairstyles. Lot of nice, I guess they're never going to get all the hairstyles, right? Here's all the female. Well, see, again, I don't want to be.
Here are some hairstyles.
Here are some hairstyles.
Some of them are long.
Some of them are long. That could be a boy or a girl. Cornrows, that's nice. There's a kind of interesting hairstyle. I always wanted to have the kind of hair you could do cat ears with.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess this is where we go to the gender stereotyped boys. What do you think? That's kind of like me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe a little less on top.
How about that? That's the one I ended up using.
Yeah.
A little curly.
Nice.
Like the curly, parted down the middle. This is the Shemp look. Hair on fire. I wish my hair looked like that.
But you can. You can have your hair look like
All
that.
right. Where's the color? Here we go. Oh, you can have highlights.
Ooh.
Look at that.
Oh.
So that's kind of is how my hair is with the highlights, right?
Yeah. A little salt and pepper up
A
there.
little salt and pepper. Yeah. What's that? Oh, you get the full range of colors here. So I think some gray highlights would be nice. Yeah. Yep. Head shape. I don't know. I don't know what my head shape is, but I'm going to make it round as I can. Eyes. Occluded is what we want. Yeah, that's occluded. Eyelashes, no. Brows, thick, but nicely shaped.
Yeah, very nicely shaped.
Yeah, I have a woman who does that for me. And then they really don't have any nose choices, so I just picked the biggest one they could find. Lips, I don't know. What do you think?
It's weird they only have 3 nose choices.
Yeah.
Because I would pick the biggest one that I found, but
Yeah, there's not that many choices.
yeah.
Ears, none with holes.
But remember what you said, you can't complain. There'll be probably more Memoji choices.
Maybe if everybody goes, oh, why aren't there more holes? I gave myself a little sideburny thing going, but I'm not going to do any of these. Although you could see how you would look if you were a porn star.
You look a little bit like a Backstreet Boy, actually. Backstreet Boy porn star.
Yeah. Backstreet Boy, really? You think that's what
Not
I
with the
am?
mustache, without the mustache.
Should I have a little
Maybe One Direction.
Backstreet Backs in town? Eyewear. You can get some glasses. I wear glasses, but I'm really happier with a monocle. No, let's just eliminate the glasses. Headwear, nice choice here for your app caps, hijabs, of course, but also turbans and top hats and toques. Because if you're Canadian, you pretty much have to wear a toque. Now I look like I should be in the undersea world of Steve Zissou.
Oh, different colored hats.
Oh yeah, you get an infinite choice here. I think let's go with my lips. Now I'm done. This is my new. Now notice I can have multiple Memojis.
Oh, good. That's because if you were feeling like that one day.
And then if I bring my face into view, it'll start talking. Hello. I think this is not. You probably should test thoroughly. Now, okay, I've done that. Now let's show you the one more thing that took me a while to figure out, and Serenity Caldwell did it, and I thought, oh, this is so cool. Normally you'll use the Memoji and it'll just let me get my face close enough. It'll just be a floating head, right? But if you pick up the camera, let's go back here. Pick up the camera and you tap the star. Now you have, among other things you can choose from. Oops, now it's really confused. Oh, I really confused it.
Is it the lights?
I don't know what happened. I broke my Memoji. Let's go back and do that again. Now, if you pick up the camera, so I'm going to go back here and pick up the camera, and then hit the star. Now you can choose, a lot of effects. You can have shapes and stuff, but you can also choose a Memoji. Look at that. You can do an Animoji or a Memoji. Shall I be the Steve Zissou guy? Now that sits on it sits on your body in the real world. Should I record something?
Yes.
I pressed camera. Video, you're right. Before you do that, choose video. Oh, you could even do it in slow-mo. No, you can only do it in video. Photo, can you do it in portrait? Nope. Can you do it in square? Nope. Pano, nope. Only video or photo. So you have to choose video. Then press the star button. Then choose a Memoji. Then press the X. It's so easy. It's computing for the rest of us. Hi, everybody. I have no ear holes. And then I sent that to you. Your poor feed is just... Oh, see, it takes a little while. You could create a movie.
Yeah. You have a lot of lipstick.
I can... Now, this is an interesting question. And I'm puzzled by this as well. Can one edit an existing Memoji to fix it? Yeah, it takes a while. Oh, edit. Yes, you can. You can edit. Aha. So I should go back and take the lipstick out, huh?
Well, it's fine. I mean, I don't just didn't.
What color are my lips? They're not pink?
What's all the way over to the, is there no color?
Yeah, but then that's not a good look. No color lips. I have lips color.
Okay.
I have some color. The question is, what color are they? They're pinkish. No, you're right. They were too red. I agree. How about that? No, they're still too pink.
Here. I don't know.
It's computing for the rest of us.
It really do.
Hi, everybody. I have no ear holes.
I also look kind of Asian, faintly Asian. So, but you can edit it. That's the good news. I've discovered that now.
Oh, good. I also don't like how your hair peeps out the top of your
I'm going to get rid of the headwear. I don't think I should have any headwear.
Weird. Like your
should
eyebrows,
I still have
she's not
frosted,
shaping her eyebrows
though?
correctly.
I feel that I probably should not have that hair. Or maybe, do you think I haven't earned that hair yet?
Oh, you've earned it, but I just don't know if it's the message that you want to really send.
Well,
it's like shopping at Forever 21.
Yeah. Is that more like my hair? No.
No.
Is that?
No.
No. This is probably the closest.
Maybe you need to make your real hair more like your Memoji hair.
Ah, that's the key.
Just
Remember,
pick
it's a
one.
caricature.
Yeah. Oh, I like that one.
You like that? Mm-hmm. Okay. Whoops.
Or that one.
Okay. Anyway, you get the idea. I think my eyes, maybe I should be a little bit rounder on the eye. Not too round. I mean, this is the problem with, I do have droopy eyes. Is that good? Is that more like me? There you go. I think this is more like me. Now, that's me.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
That's
you?
exactly you.
Is that me or that? No, I think that's more me. I look like a little baby. A little baby.
Does it offer wrinkles? And I only ask because my Bitmoji offers wrinkles. I add wrinkles to my Bitmoji. I'm talking about me.
No, you're not.
Gosh. Oh, gosh.
It
I'm
is
sorry.
not for people of a certain age, like over 15. Anyway, that's more than enough time spent on Memoji. But I mean, actually, that's the real reason I upgraded it to iOS 12.
I know. I really feel like it is. And I was thinking, that's why I'm going to take this out of the drawer. But then I didn't. I forgot it doesn't have the camera.
You can't do Memoji on a
Can't do
6S. You need an
Memoji.
iPhone 10. Or I'm thinking the next. I'm really encouraged by the fact that they did this on the iPad. Move the date over. It seems. I'm going to maybe overextend this, but it seems to me by putting the date and time over on the left-hand corner, they're not only saying there'll be face recognition, they're saying it'll be this fall. That means there'll be a new iPad Pro this fall. That's my prediction. New voice memos. The only negative of all of this is that Apple installs all their new apps. So Stocks, Voice Memos, Measure, they've all been installed as a way of thanking us for our participation. Anyway, is there anything else? We mentioned the new interface, the new apps, Memoji, the Do Not Disturb. Oh, Siri suggestions.
Oh, yeah, Siri shortcuts.
Well, you don't get shortcuts yet, as far as I can tell, but you do get suggestions.
I thought I had some shortcuts.
Well, suggestions are Siri making shortcut suggestions. So shortcuts were that you could create your own, right? Now, I didn't see anywhere I could do that, unfortunately.
So it's under Siri and search, right? So then my shortcuts. Did
Oh,
you
here
get
it
suggestions?
is. Here it is.
Suggested
Add shortcuts for things you frequently do so you can get them done just by adding Siri.
Mine was like send a text message to Leo
A
Laporte.
slick phone Linux for your pocket PDA. Ooh, don't mind if I do, sir. What the hell is that? Why would I add that to Siri?
I do not know.
Okay.
But one of mine was send a message to Leo Laporte.
A slick phone Linux for your pocket PDA. Oh, I don't mind if I do, sir. Where did that come from? So now if I can record a personalized phrase for this.
Why would you?
Run news. Read news. Okay. So let's see what happens.
Oh, that's the headline.
Read news. It's the headline. But is it always going to go to that story?
For that, yeah. But one of mine was like see stories about technology. So I did.
So maybe I should go back here and pick technology. Okay, now let's go back to Siri. Oh, see, you've discovered something fabulous.
See stories about technology.
See story about technology. Okay. So now I can add that. Technology news. Technology news. Perfect. Mm-hmm. So that's nice. So, okay, so you go, I'm glad you told me that this was possible. So under Siri and search in the settings, you'll see some additional shortcuts as you do stuff. And then, but unfortunately, there's workflow. So that's what I was curious about. So if you've installed workflow, you can then use workflow to create anything you want as a Siri. So this is attaching Siri to a specific workflow. That's good news.
Yeah, so it's really basically anything that you do is in your suggestion. So I got like a spam phone call this morning, and it's
I noticed that came up. Maybe you'd like to call them back and yell at them.
Yeah,
I don't know why. Yeah, same thing for me.
Yeah, but that's helpful if it is something that you do.
See all. Let's see what see all says. So see stories from Spotlight. So these are basic. Now remember, this is only stuff I've done since this morning, since I turned this on. So this would presumably get longer if I order a cappuccino through the Starbucks app. Or remember, the apps have to be enabled. And so far as you can see, this is all coming from news because it's an Apple app. So it's Siri shortcuts enabled or Siri suggestions enabled. As more apps are Siri suggestions enabled, we'll see more suggestions there. I'm very excited about this. This is a little bit more of a step. I understand, though, that Siri will start suggesting these to you in the notifications. So as time goes by, you might not have to go into the settings. For the geekier amongst us, the ability to create a workflow and then attach a Siri command to that has a lot of potential. Including a lot of HomeKit uses and things like that. So that in the long run, this was the thing I was most excited about. This to me makes the iPhone significantly more useful.
But Siri has to get better at listening. So I tried to do that same tech, and I kept saying tech news instead of technology news, and it was like it didn't hear me.
Yeah, this is often the case. I wonder if you could launch Memoji. Here's by the way, and just a reminder. If you did you see that? It crashed and then it resprung. So I have had a couple of resprings. That's when the user interface reloads. So do be aware that this is a pre-release version and it's not fully functional. You probably shouldn't put it on a production device, as I have. This is my phone. Don't do as I say. Don't do as I do. And Workflow, which is a free app that Apple bought. Is really going to become important in this. So anything that you can do in Workflow, you're going to be able to add to Siri suggestions. That's fantastic. That's huge to me.
The other thing we could do now is we could add my face to your Face ID. You can have more than one Face ID now. So if I wanted to open your phone with my face.
That's really good news because I added Lisa, my wife's fingerprint to Fingerprint ID, and I was able to, so when she needed the phone for some reason, she could unlock it. That's great.
Right.
That's
so you would add Lisa
improvement.
instead of me, is what you're saying?
I'm not adding you, that's for sure. I'll have to really think about it. No, Lisa frequently needs my phone for text because like to log into PayPal and stuff, it text codes. So that's really good news. That's great.
There's some, I think, adjustments with the battery percentage level. There's some more granular information about using your battery in iOS 12. I know the last version of iOS 11 had a few features like this, but it's useful to know how, again, this is where you used to have to go if you wanted to see how long you were using your iPad, and now you can do that in screen time. But just if you really want battery information, that's in there. I'm sure there are a few other things that are
This is
better.
In my opinion, one of the largest, best upgrades to iOS in a long time. Now, see, notice this. Siri suggestions on the phone where I've done more things. Send a message to Megan Morrone. Yeah, you know what? I do that all the time. Text Megan. So now Siri will be a little smarter. I wonder what will happen, though. Let's try it. Text Megan. Ah, look at that.
What if you did text Megan hello or something like that? Would it know that?
Presumably, well, I don't know. Let's see. I mean, what else can I do here? This is good. So these are the Siri shortcuts that it's suggested.
You
Send
should just
a message.
have a shortcut, text Megan to tell her I'm late.
Yeah, that's the one I should use most often. Here's the two searches I was doing for Meal Born. Here's other things, and there's that phone number again. Interesting. Send by design to Megan Morrone.
Oh, because you said by design when I said there were no ear holes.
Yeah.
That was your response.
So what I need to do, here, let me do this real quickly.
You should do that. Every text I send you, you should reply by design.
Running late, be on my way. That's probably most likely what I would do, right? My way. That's what I send every Wednesday or Tuesday.
Yeah, around 9:15.
Around 9:15. Okay, running late on my way. Now, I've sent that to you. If I go back to Siri suggestions, yes, look at that. Sending running late on my way. Let's add that. Megan late. Nice. Now, watch this. Let's see if it does it. Megan late.
Ready to do it with messages.
Yes.
I got it.
You got it?
Late, on my way.
Nice. Yes, Siri.
Yeah, you should just have it be Megan Tuesday.
Oh, I should.
Or just automate
Standard.
every Tuesday
Standard.
at 9:15.
Oh.
Just have it sent.
Workflow could do that automatically at 9:15. But then if I'm not, I'm running late.
All right, so
That's great. That's 'cause I think this is going to be really hideously useful.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Okay, so have you seen this story about how we might be charging our iPhone in the future?
Magically? Let me guess.
It is a rumor, but take a look at this.
No, I'm not doing whatever that is. Is that putting it on your AirPods?
Yeah, like your air. This is a rumor from Nikkei, and that's a photo by Harrison Weber from Gizmodo, and it is just a rumor.
Why would you ever want to do that?
I know it wouldn't balance it's hard enough to get your iPhone on.
A rumor I credit a little bit better is that by September, not in September, but by September, which could be any time between now and September, Apple will finally release its, what do they call it? The Air Charge?
Air
Air thingamajigger?
Air Charge.
Air Charger.
AirPod. Air.
And apparently there were massive manufacturing difficulties holding it back, which surprises me because there's been companies making multiple device charging coils.
Air Power
For years. So I'm not sure what the issue was. Maybe I'm thinking maybe it's because you have to get a new case for your AirPods, the earbuds. Maybe it's that was holding it back.
It was an engineering problem, according to Mark Gurman.
It can't be that hard.
Yeah.
It's just a 3-coil Qi charger, which is a well-known product. Okay.
But charging 3 devices at once, I guess, seems easier than it really is.
No, I've had devices. I guess my first multiple device wireless charger was about 5 years ago because you just put multiple coils in.
Oh.
Who knows? Apple may have.
Did you have to put them exactly on the right place? Or could you put them anywhere on the pad?
Well, that's the beauty of multiple coils is you could put it anywhere it's near a coil. But yeah, it would be a little bit more challenging. But that's solvable. You put a little magnet in there. You'd have to have the device would have to have a magnet. There's ways to solve that. Yeah. Apple, because it controls the entire chain, the charger plus the device could easily solve that.
Yeah. But maybe they're trying to release it when they release the new AirPods. Who knows? So I was super excited about the Westworld game, and it was...
well, have you ever played the Fallout game?
Like it was funny. When I downloaded it, I was like, wow, I guess they're doing the same thing that Fallout's doing. Probably the same company made it.
Well, go ahead.
No, but they're suing. Bethesda is suing Warner Brothers.
They said there's code in it. It's the same code.
Yeah.
They even have bugs in it from the pre-release. So the only thing I could think of is it the same company? I think it might be the same company. If it's not the same company, maybe they shared programmers and the guy came over and said, well, I have all these libraries that do this. Why should we write this from scratch? But of course you can't do that.
Yeah. So Bethesda is suing Warner Brothers
They're saying
over
that's
this.
the same game, dude.
I tried the game too. It's not my cup of tea.
The Fallout game was kind of fun, but yeah.
It was really
you have to like those kinds of games.
Yeah. I mean, and I love Westworld a lot.
Have you played the Westworld Amazon Echo game?
I haven't. I heard you talking about it on Twit, though.
Yeah, we did on New Screensavers.
Or New Screensavers.
It's kind of dull.
Yeah. I've played
But at least
some
it's a
of those
voice game.
choose-your-own-adventure games, and they're not that fun, and sometimes they'll mess up in the middle, and then you've ruined your entire adventure.
That's the problem. It's a big commitment of time. Yeah.
All right. I think we have some time for a few questions. Dan asks, what do you think of the Wallet app for the iPhone? Do you use it? Is it safe? Is there a better place to store your credit cards and the like?
I do use it. It is safe. And I don't know of a better place to do it.
Yeah, it's encrypted. It's they don't share with merchants. They don't share the stored. They don't even share yours with Apple, right?
Right.
I mean, it's
Yeah, the wallet is, I think, a great solution. In fact, in a way, the only thing wrong with the wallet is that Apple hasn't pushed it harder because it is a great solution and it's been around for some time. For a while, you didn't even, when you installed wallet capable apps, you didn't even have to have the app have an icon. It would just be in the wallet. They changed that, and I'm actually a little disappointed. So what I've done is I create a wallet folder on my device, and then I move all the apps that support wallet into the wallet folder. And that's like Starbucks and Hertz and all the airlines, because in fact, I think we can probably safely look at my wallet. I'll put airline ticket passes in there. Of course, my credit cards are in there. If you use Apple Pay, it'll be in there. June 14th, Ticketmaster, Jennifer Lopez. So this is a really great way to store tickets, affinity cards, credit cards. I think it's just a great way to do it. And it makes it very easy to pull up so that you can use the barcode. This particular event, they encourage you not to print tickets, but in fact to put it on your phone. And so what a great, easy way to do that. I'm a big fan. So I put my my airline frequent flyer cards in there, as you can see.
Does your Target, I've noticed you had Target in that folder. Does it support the wallet, your Target card? Or do you not have a Target card?
I don't have a Target card, so I don't know, but I would guess that the affinity card could go in the wallet. And so yes. And because Apple does the secure enclave for stuff like this, stuff that's private that you really want to keep secret is stored in a secure enclave that no one else can get access to it. It's fully encrypted. And without your Face ID on an iPhone 10 or fingerprint Touch ID on other Apple devices, no one can gain access to it. This is exactly the securest way to do this. I really like Apple's wallet. Yeah. Read their security and privacy overview. You'll see. Transit cards, that's another thing that can be in there.
It's nice to keep it all in one place. I know Whole Foods now, if you're a Prime member, Whole Foods will give you an extra 10% discount on certain items, but you have to have the app. So like I was in the line.
Yeah, and I wish they'd use Apple Wallet app instead of their app, right? That's an example of Apple really needs to force people. So because I opened my wallet to my American Express card, I can now add that to a Siri shortcut. So I can say, hey, Shlomo, Amex.
Yeah.
And it will pop up my credit card now.
How about
out of
text
the
Megan
wallet.
my Amex number? Do that.
I probably could. But see, that's a nice thing. So because it saw me open that in the wallet, now I don't know why it didn't see the JLo ticket, but maybe I could, maybe under more shortcuts. But that is really, that's a very nice thing. So I can now say, in fact, I'm going to do that. Amex. So now I have a very quick way to open my Amex card on my iPhone by just pressing the Siri button or saying, hey, you know who? Amex.
Is that your Apple Pay card?
Just see. No, it doesn't show anything important. Isn't that cool?
Is that your Apple Pay card?
No, that's my American Express
Oh, good,
card.
because your Apple Pay card, you can just, double click on the site to get that. But
Right.
then another
But this
credit
one can pop, so you can have individual credit cards pop up. I think that
is helpful.
this is, telling you, Siri shortcuts could end up being huge. Huge. We'll see how it surfaces these things. But, presumably at some point a notification would say, well, I see you've used Apple Pay. You use your American Express card all the time with Apple Pay. Would you like a shortcut for that? That would be fantastic.
I would.
Yep.
All right, 2 corrections from last week. Paul pointed out that my app cap Castro for podcasts, I said it supported video, but then it does not. I was wrong. So.
I think you said, I don't know, and you were looking to see if it did.
Okay, well, it doesn't. So I apologize for anyone, but, there was a 1 week free. Hopefully you canceled if you didn't want it. And then we also got that question last week. This isn't a correction, but an addition from Kevin. His son wanted to, he wanted his son to be able to put his own credit card on the Apple sharing.
Yeah.
And we said, once they have their own credit card, then they have to, Apple wants to push them along off of family sharing.
Yes.
And Allison Sheridan wrote in to say...
She knows these. She's good. Nozilla podcast.
Yes, Nozilla, Cast, and Podfeet. She said that we were right. There's no other way, but the most important thing to know is that if your son initiated the payment himself, those will follow him to when he gets off family sharing. So if you correctly get off family sharing, if you bought a bunch of apps or a bunch of add-ons,
they'll go with him?
Yeah. So if, so my kids are on family sharing, and if they
So they don't lose all the apps
stuff,
when they create their new account.
So, but anything if he says, Dad, can you buy me this outfit for my
Say,
Fortnite
no,
character?
you buy it yourself.
Yeah. But it gets charged to the one credit card. But if you initiated the transaction, then you'll keep it. So thank you, Allison.
Well, okay. That may be contingent on you having, for instance, your own personal Fortnite account. I would bet it is, because that would make sense, because it will follow your Fortnite account. But if you create a whole new Apple account and it's only attached to your Apple account, I wonder if we'll follow then. But anyway,
if you create a whole
Allison,
new
send
Apple,
us another email. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you create a new Apple account, your purchases if they're associated with, for instance, the Apple Game Center, and you keep your Game Center account, that'd be okay. If you had a Fortnite account, Epic account, and it kept your Epic account, that'd be okay, because that's all your account. Those are purchases. They ended up on your account. But if you purchase stuff, here's an example. Let's say I purchased a song on iTunes under the family sharing account. Now I set up a new iPad with a new account, my own account with my own credit card. Am I going to have that iTunes song? I don't think so.
So
I wouldn't count on that.
Are you talking about creating a whole new account, like a new Apple ID?
Well, that's what happens when you get your
No, if
grow
you're
up.
off of family sharing.
Yeah,
like
you
my
grow
kids,
up and you create a new ID. Oh, no, you take
don't.
your ID with you.
Yeah, you take your
I
ID
see.
with you.
So yeah, okay, that makes sense. It's associated
so
with your ID.
I used a bad example with Fortnite because I was an in-app purchase, but
That
an
makes
app.
sense. No, it's associated. I get it. You're right. Yes.
So yeah,
family
so if you
sharing
bought a song, if you bought a movie,
shares it to a separate Apple ID, and it's associated now with your ID. And if you
Right.
then separate the two, because when I say take Michael off of family sharing, he's going to lose everything I've shared with him.
right? But if he
bought it,
right.
he's going to keep it.
So if he wants to buy a bunch of music that you don't
should
care
buy
about
it.
he should
He
buy
should
it.
buy it.
Yes.
Okay,
He
got
should
it.
initiate the transaction.
Thank you, Allison.
Which then goes to your credit
That's
card.
an important clarification.
Yes.
You're paying for it, but he did it through his account.
Right. Exactly. Let's see. One more. Oh, here's an interesting question that hopefully you know the answer to because I did not. Alberto writes, do you have any experience with liquid screen protectors? I got one from Nano Protect Plus at Mobile World Congress 2018 and decided to give it a try on my iPhone 10. So far, everything has turned out fine. My screen is perfect condition, and I didn't expect it would be so good. I wanted to buy another one for my wife's iPhone, but it seems that they don't retail on their website. Have you guys tried another brand you would recommend?
No, I don't use screen protectors. I don't like how they change the screen. And my biggest issue with that would be how hard is it to remove it?
Yeah, liquid. I mean, I looked it up. It's actual liquid.
Yeah.
Put on your screen.
And it hardens and protects your screen. But if you didn't like it, is there an easy way to remove it? Maybe they have. Yeah, don't hit it with a knife or scratch it. I'm sorry. In fact, really, in my opinion, the theory of a screen protector is that when it gets damaged, not the glass, and then you remove it. A liquid screen protector, how do you remove it? Can you peel it off?
It looks like you could peel it off.
Okay, as long as you can peel it off, yeah. But you could still buy it, it looks like.
So it looks like a standard. I can't tell if it's liquid or a screen
protector. That one
protector.
looks like they're putting it on like a regular screen protector.
Yeah.
It's not sprayed on. 1 dose, it says.
Well, look at that. Yeah, I don't know because that looks.
Oh yeah, sachet. It's a
I don't
sachet.
know.
So you spread it on.
Yeah, we've gotten a lot.
Hey,
like
there it
we've
is.
tried some screen protectors. It's just not our thing. Like we don't. But if someone has one that they really recommend and love,
As
email
long
me.
as you could remove it, that would be my only qualm. As long as it's easy to remove, because that's the whole idea of a screen protector, is that you can remove it when it gets scratched.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't remove it, well, then you haven't really improved anything, your situation.
Okay, we asked for Memojis, and we got some. I also got some Bitmojis.
Hey, boo.
This is a Bitmoji. It looks pretty old-fashioned now.
It looks like Ron Howard. I love it that you can make multiple Memojis. That wasn't immediately clear. So now I can have them with different hats, different styles.
Speaking of hats,
it's app cap time. Luck be a lady tonight.
does my hat say something on it? No, it's just a line. We wear hats because we are like live-action Memojis.
That's basically it.
And
Wait, am I wearing this right? Oh, no, that's right. There
am I
we
wearing
go.
this one right?
Yeah, you're doing it.
And these are caps. Cap rhymes with apps. These are our favorite apps of the week. And I need to do a little convincing because you were poo-pooing IGTV, the new app from Instagram.
Yeah. Well, maybe not. You know, what I did say is that I was completely wrong about Instagram stories, which I also poo-pooed at the time. So maybe I'm wrong about this. I just don't get why we need another app to watch video. This is Instagram really trying to take on YouTube. They used stories to take on Snapchat. Oh, of course. What is the most popular? A young, attractive young woman in a bathrobe about to jump in the shower.
And it's entitled, What's in My Shower?
Yeah. Now, I guarantee you she doesn't actually
Take off her robe.
take off her robe.
No, she doesn't. That's against the community standards. She could probably do it, but then it would get removed.
Yeah, and Instagram has a fairly effective community
do.
standards.
I did see a supermodel with a wet T-shirt the first time I looked. Okay, so it's really hard. This is not most
could
popular.
you send me that link?
This is for you, not for you. I won't send you the link.
What is
Leo.
for you?
That's supposed to be designed for me. That's ridiculous. Like, I don't want to see what's in it.
This
But
is what
maybe.
really concerns me about IGTV is it's going to be heavy. Already, Instagram has way too many sponsored posts. It's going to be really heavy on the sponsored posts and advertising. I just don't see any way around that.
So I did a full review for the Screensavers. You get to see it.
Oh, good.
On Saturday of my experience because it's a little confusing to use, like Snapchat is.
For you, which we don't understand where that comes
Right,
from.
because-
There's following,
Yeah, so
which
here's
is
the
people you're
I'm
already following.
So these are both from me.
I'm not sure why For You and Popular are different.
Well, for you would assume that, I mean, Facebook knows me pretty well and has a lot of information. So here are the people I'm following, and not that many people I'm following have tweeted. But for example, okay, here's my argument is, even though this might be not how we like to consume video, it's how a lot of people might want to consume video. So I feel like we should be there. So here's a video I posted.
Like
vertical.
Twitch should be there. Yeah.
So here's Jerry discovering Burke taking a nap during a testing of a robot vacuum. We were really testing to see if it would knock into Burke.
Yeah, and we couldn't put whole shows there because it's got an hour limit, and we don't do enough things.
Well, we can. But I recorded some vertical video, and I'm gonna post it right now of you trying to make your Memoji. So
yeah,
let's.
So first of all, you don't have a live streaming capability from within IGTV. You have to make a video and then add it.
And it has to be a vertical video.
And I notice a lot of people doing heavy effects and editing. So it really does facilitate you editing something and then uploading it.
Right. So I have these 3 videos that I want to upload. This is only 29 seconds long.
No. Can you do it in square? No. Pano? No. Only video or photo. So you have to see, I don't think we're going to be big. Maybe if I got in the shower. I just don't think.
Well,
I just don't
who
think
says you can't, Leo?
No, nobody wants. Nobody
nobody
wants
see,
that. But,
email me at megan@twit.tv if you want to see Leo.
No, I know
what's
they
in
don't.
my shower.
That's being silly. But I don't know. More importantly, let us know if you want us to put content on IGTV. I don't know. I'm not convinced. Right now, it's fine, but I think over time, IGTV will be not a pleasant place to be. It'll be very full of ads.
So, okay, there's a difference.
I don't know. I was wrong about stories, though. Do you watch stories?
No, I never watch anyone's stories.
Yeah.
But I think there's a difference between what we like to consume and what the average person
It's for
likes
the kids.
to consume. I think it is. But also, I got a comment on the first video saying from someone who said he had followed you and I for a long time, but doesn't really watch Twit anymore. But he saw it and he said, oh, well, now I can watch this. So it's kind of,
maybe we should.
An intro to people.
Right.
Who, I mean, I don't know how many people who watch this also watch Instagram stories, Instagram TV. My kids don't even watch it yet. They're just like, oh yeah, I've tried it, it's fine. It's now connected to Instagram and it lights up, so you'll want to see it. And when I post this, all my Instagram followers will see that I posted you working on your Memoji.
You know, I would love it if this took all the stories off Instagram. Instagram would go back to still pictures, the old Instagram format, and then you could move. If people wanted stories, they could do it on IGTV.
Like takes all video or all stories or both?
All the no, just the stories.
Yeah.
Because you can have video on an Instagram post.
I'm not sure that they don't do that. Or all the people that normally post stories are also the kind of people that will post.
Well, that's who jumped on this, of course, is all the YouTube stars and so forth.
I don't like watching Instagram stories because it feels weird to me. Because everyone can see that you're watching them, and then it feels.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They can.
You can see if someone watched your story. Yep. And then they go from one to the next. So like you accidentally see, and then you're like, ooh, a person thinks I'm weird that I watched their story, which is a weird thing because you're posting it.
Well, so do you get the same information about IGTV about who's watching?
No.
No. Huh.
Not yet.
I could see. It's so funny because this. I jumped on many a bandwagon going back to Quick. Remember Quick TV? And yeah, there've been this particular app has been made many, many, many times. Always with some differences. But and I jumped on all of them in the early days because I thought, this will be a really great social way of sharing video. But I tired of them. Maybe that's just me. Wait a minute. Bunnies? Oh, baby. Now, how much would you pay?
Bunnies.
Bunnies with puffy tails.
There was also an hour of Cole Sprouse eating a hamburger that I found yesterday. Do you know?
But if you're a Cole Sprouse fan,
yeah. You know who Cole Sprouse is?
No.
He's in the Archie Comics TV show.
An interesting. I'm enjoying these. Bunnies,
I am enjoying it as well.
I take it all back. I love it. It's interesting though because it's vertical, and the whole point of being vertical is it really facilitates. These are great bunnies. It really facilitates watching on the phone, and this is what this is Facebook saying, yeah, people are watching more mobile video than ever before, and it's on the upswing. It's soon to be. If it's not this year, it'll be next year. The number one way people watch video will be mobile. So I have a feeling this is probably a hit. Probably a hit.
Well, what the commenter also said was that it's not just you're only watching, because a lot of people were complaining like, well, I don't want to watch stuff on my phone all the time. But a lot of people are doing both. They're multitasking. They're watching something on the TV, maybe watching Westworld and watching IGTV at the same time, which I don't know how you do it, but I think people do it. There's a lot of multitasking.
I think people do that, actually. Yeah.
Do you do that? Do you ever watch?
I don't, but I know we'll be watching a show, and I can tell when Lisa's bored because all of a sudden I hear coming out of her Instagram because she's got she goes, oh, sorry, and she turns the sound down.
Yeah.
But I can tell she's watching videos.
Yeah.
So, and I think that there's a lot of time you're in the line at the grocery store or you're on the subway or whatever. There seems to be a lot of downtime that people don't want to be bored, and this caters right to that.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's just because you and I are older and don't really want to be always staring at our phone screen. But
I'm ready to evolve, and I think you should be too. We're all
otherwise
we get left behind in our fancy hats.
I realize that the issue for me is exactly that. It's not a comfortable way for me to watch video. I want to sit on the couch and watch TV, and that really might be generational.
Yeah.
That my kid is like, what's wrong with watching video on your phone? That's how I watch it.
Well, for now,
Have you ever watched a Netflix or a movie or anything like that? No?
On a TV? On a phone? No, I haven't. Yeah. And I know people who watch, not watch while they're driving, but they'll have it playing with their kids, like if they have a long commute or whatever, and the kid's watching and they're just listening to it.
We've conditioned younger people to watch on mobile devices. I try to watch Netflix on my iPad, and if you put it on your chest real close, it's just as good as a big screen TV. But for some reason, it's just not, it's conditioning. It's totally
I will watch
conditioning.
Netflix on my computer or my iPad for sure, but not on my phone.
Even that I won't.
No.
I was watching a show on Netflix the other day, and they were watching something on their laptop. He had one earbud in one ear. She had one earbud in the other ear, and they were watching together. Mm-hmm. And I thought, for Christ's sake, get a TV. No, I didn't.
Well, for now, I'm going to be posting videos of you.
I think we should
to figure out.
I could be wear this hat, and you could call him the old guy.
Yeah.
Like elders understanding tech.
Yeah, exactly. Because you were first against this because your first instinct was like all the time, all the production, all the editing. But I don't think that's necessarily what people
you just
want
record
for
it.
this.
You record it on your phone.
Yeah.
You post it on IGTV.
People don't want the kind of polish that we're performing right now.
Hey, at least we have hats.
No, but I think lots of people who were like traditional TV people would look at what we're doing and saying like, who would watch that?
Right. And they'd be right.
Friends right here.
There's 3 people, 4, 5. Oh my God, they're multiplying. All right, let's. I'll show you mine. This is really geeky, and probably inappropriate for iOS today. But I wanted to tell you about it. I'd mentioned this on other shows before. On Friday, I interviewed Phil Zimmerman, who is the inventor of PGP. Maybe you've heard about it. It is, to this day, he invented it in '91. To this day, the best way, the only widespread way of encrypting your email to make it completely private so that only you and the recipient can read it. The problem is it's always been difficult to use. It's a little easier to use than it used to be, but it's always been a little difficult to use. Nevertheless, PGP encryption, which was the first widespread use of public key cryptography, is, to this day, the most secure, the best way to communicate. Better than WhatsApp, better than Signal, the best way to message, the best way to email. And anything that makes it easier, I'm all for it. The estimate is only about 1 million people worldwide use PGP email. That's kind of not successful, right? I publish my PGP key. I encourage people to use it, and I still don't get any. I get 1 or 2 encrypted email a month. However, there is an up-and-coming, I guess, group of people who are made money in the technology and have decided to create something for free. There may be a financial future down the road, but right now, completely for free, that I think is a great way to incorporate PGP into your life in a variety of ways. It's called Keybase. And you can go to keybase.io. You can go there and create a PGP key. Initially, it was a way to share your PGP key. So you'd say, well, I'm on Keybase, as I am, keybase.io/Leo Laporte. And you can get my key there. You can send me from there an encrypted message that only you and I can read. They have downloads for Windows, Macintosh, and Linux. But they also have, Keybase also has a iPhone app. And it's something you might want to check out because it allows you to do some stuff that people really do want to do. So let me just show you. First of all, very cute icon.
It is cute.
I like the icon. So there are a number of things you can do with Keybase. Initially, as I said, you follow people, and when their key changes, you will automatically get an update, so you can keep up with somebody's PGP key. It's not unusual that every few years somebody generates a new key and distributes it. I don't keep, and I probably don't recommend keeping your private key on Keybase. Now, you understand the way PGP works is you can freely distribute a public key. People can use that to send you encrypted email, but you keep the private key private so that nobody has access to it. Keybase will let you store your private key there. I wouldn't do that. I would only store your public key there and really keep your private key private. But once you do that, and once you're on Keybase, people can use your public key to send you encrypted chat. So you see, I'm chatting with a bunch of people. This is more people than I've used PGP with in practically my whole lifetime. So a bunch of people can chat with me privately. They just added exploding chat. This is much more secure than any other solution out there, and I will include Signal and those widely celebrated secure systems. They use the same kind of public key crypto, but there are issues in general with public key crypto that Keybase, I think, has solved and makes their chat, to me, preferable to everything else. Plus, it's very easy to find somebody's key because if they're on Keybase, you just search for them by name, you can add them, and then you can send them private messages. You can send them exploding messages. Let me pick somebody, and I'll send an exploding message. Emery and I have been having fun with exploding messages. So if you see here, these are messages that Emery sent to me that have exploded. And he set a time on them. So let me write him a message. I'll set a time frame on them. The exploding means the message will no longer be accessible, not only to him, but to you and to anybody else after a time period. It's kind of like this message will self-delete in 30 seconds or 5 minutes or 6 hours or 24 hours or 3 days or 7 days. That's the longest. So I can send him a message that after 30 seconds, if he doesn't read it in 30 seconds, will disappear. This is gone in 30 seconds. Now, I've sent that. Now, we can actually even watch it disappear because I can read it now, but you see the countdown has already started. Oh. That will disappear. Will just be, and in fact, it even explodes in kind of a cute way, like the fuse and the bomb going off. So that is going to be a way to send messages that are not only private, but self-deleting. So I think that's really great. Teenagers, if you want to communicate with friends and then mom gets the phone later and says, well, let me see your Keybase, even then, they can't read that message. That message is no longer good for anybody.
Great advice.
Thought you'd like that. Look at that. Boom. Just exploded. That message is gone. Boom. For good.
It's free. How do they make money?
Don't worry about it. Now, let me just show you a couple of other things we can do with it, because I'm not done.
Okay.
Believe it or not, that by itself would be worthwhile.
Now, how much would you not pay?
Now, how much would you not pay? It supports Teams. So if you're a team that uses, as we do, HipChat or Slack or Discord for team chat, I set this up, but I can't get anybody at Twit to use it because, well, we use other stuff. But you can create a group chat that can include thousands of people, same exact security, which is great. You can even have sub-teams and so forth. Finally, and this is not a feature of the iOS version. All of this is in the iOS version, but you should go to keybase.io to create your account and set it up and create a key and so forth. You can also have private folders, public folders. It has an encrypted Git, which I use all the time. Git is a way of, it's a codes repository, way of sharing code. I don't share the code with anybody. You could do that. You could have code sharing with a team, but I do upload super secret stuff that I want to keep on all my machines. I use the Keybase Git repository, things like my tax returns. I upload those to the Keybase Git repository. It's secured, it's encrypted. Keybase can't read it, only I can read it, and I can sync it to all my machines, so I have access to it. But again, only I can read it. A lot of very nice features. This is completely free. I think there are ways to make money, maybe with a team chat if they wanted to. But right now, it's an effort. It's kind of an open source, public, good effort by the folks at Keybase. And I really think it's worth checking out. Now, I realize this is an advanced topic. Most people don't need strong cryptography. But if you do, this is the way, in my opinion, to do it, even for messaging. Especially for messaging, and it's free. Keybase.io, and that is my app cap.
I'm just going to install it right now. It's asking me for a passphrase. And
now you can send messages your teenagers can't read.
Yes.
Yeah. So the passphrase, you really want to be strong passphrase on Keybase. They don't support two-factor, which is a little disappointing to me as far as I can tell. I wish they did. But that's all right because logging into your account doesn't get, even if somebody got into your account, they don't, that's why I don't put my private key there. They don't get access to anything that's not already public. I also, if you go to keybase.io/Leo Laporte, I use it to prove that I own sites. So you can use it to generate a strong proof that this is your site, this is your email address and all of that stuff. See there, those, my Twitter, my Instagram, my Facebook, my websites, those are all listed there, and those are cryptographically proven to be mine. And so that's another very nice use for it. This is a very impressive thing they've done, and I think they deserve some attention because they're doing it for free. I think they're doing it for the public good.
Well, that's it. We have exhausted ourselves.
Let me see
with
if this
iOS
works.
Stuff.
Yeah, it does. The tongue on the Memoji is a better tongue. It's pointier. Mine's kind of like a pancake.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more like that.
All the tongue news you can use on iOS today.
I'm so sorry. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed the show, and I hope you will come back next week. We do it every Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific. Well, I'll send you a text message when I'm late. 9 a.m. Pacific.
Tuesday.
That's Tuesdays. What did I say, Wednesday?
No.
Wonder
Monday
I'm
at
always
9 a.m.
late.
You'll be
I'm
on time.
Always late. Always late. Tuesday, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern time. That's 1600 UTC if you want to come by and join the fun. Go to twit.tv/live. You can watch one of our live video or audio streams. You can also, while you're there, download episodes from previous episodes and subscribe to the podcast. That way you'll get it automatically the minute it's available. Now, if people wanted to be on the show, how would they do that, Megan?
They can email me, Megan, at twit.tv. We love video, so put it up on YouTube, send me the link. Or, if you need to send me a video directly, just let me know first. I don't like to open attachments, but if, we can work something out. So just email me, Megan at twit.tv, or Twitter at Megan Morrone.
This is one of only 2 shows we do on Twit that is video first, video forward. This and the new screensavers have a lot of video in them, so we encourage you to watch in video. But you can also, you can listen, and we'll do our best to describe what you're seeing.
And watch the highlights at Instagram, IGTV.
Megan's wearing a Kangol hat that looks like she should be on the 8th tee. I am wearing a Frank Sinatra baby blue fedora. Luck be a lady tonight. And we thank you for joining us on iOS Today. Bye-bye. Now we throw our hats.